Rats! Rats as big as cats have graffitied the council flats, and they hang around doing beatbox on the corner of our street. And frogs with Irish dogs don their Gaelic clogs and dance a tribute to Arthur Guinness outside the alehouse on our street. The Anti-Country Alliance foxes have made their homes in cardboard boxes and have started a peaceful community on some waste ground on our street. But people live in fear of the urban gorilla deer because all they want to do is dance. But then a bunch of fascist pigs broke up the Irish jigs and photographed the urban deer and brought loathing, distrust and fear. They trashed the cardboard boxes of the peaceful urban foxes and put up spying cameras in all the poor parts of our street. The public schoolboy mules made up some laws and some new rules, and they called it criminal justice to keep the people off the street. They employed the nosy Murdoch shrews to reinforce the mules' rules by taking us all for fools. Now all that's left is mindless sheep whose fear of conflict runs so deep, but one day they would rise and learn to dance a different beat. It was a glorious day when the graffiti and beatbox rats, guided by their sat-nav stats, took back the council flats with cries of freedom, and the revolting Gaelic frogs, riding bareback on their dogs, catapulted their precious clogs at the windows on our street. The peaceful urban foxes made armoured tanks out of their boxes and bum-rushed the mules' defence of the big house on our street. Those once nervous, mindless sheep whose fear of conflict runs so deep congregated and begun to creep towards the big house. They were met by lines of riot pigs, the ones who broke up the Irish jigs and photographed the urban deer and had brought loathing, distrust and fear. But the pigs forgot the golden rule that repressed sheep can be so cruel. There was no mercy shown to the fascists, yeah, to the fascists. Now those once nervous mindless sheep learned to dance a different beat, and they opened a peaceful community in the big house on our street. And they paid the fascist pigs to teach the youth Irish jigs, and paid the schoolboy mules to graffiti all our schools. Just shows what you can do, my brother, sister, me and you, if you want to take back your community from all the corners of your street. But people live in fear of the urban guerrilla deer, because all they want to do is dance. Thank you. Yeah. 15, hung from the beam. The ugliest justice that I've ever seen, yeah, 50 in all, took the long fall in the raging against the machines. And so made a way for the age of wage slavery, hungered and homeless, we bowed to the boss, whose factories killed us and crippled our children, and all for the worship of profit and loss. So some call us vandals, some call us hooligans, some call us Luddites, and some rent a mob. But we're standing up proud and we're shouting out loud, for the sake of our children, let's finish the job. The 23rd of November, 1864, another crime of injustice is forced upon the poor. Due to the cotton famine, the mills are forced to close. It was so cold and harsh that year, the canal dried up and froze. The men were promised job and wage, but the wealthy they did lie. They'd given their loyal service, but were left on the streets to die. The beat of the dancing looms, they signed on bakes and more. This one's dedicated to the Lancashire poor. The 16th of June, 1873, and the working folk of Northampton voted peacefully. They elected Charles Bradlaugh to disconcert the mayor, and to celebrate their victory they gathered in the market square. But the soldiers from Weedon Barracks come with lethal force, with parliamentary riot acts and a will to endorse the beat of the musket guns, fill the nighttime air. This one's dedicated to the ousted mayor. The 23rd of December 1986, 2 days before Christmas, they closed the Barnsley pits. Been on strike for hunger, been on strike for coal. The women collected for charity because the men were denied the dole. 2 miners lost their lives that year, killed by the riot police, for standing up for livelihood, hope and belief. The beat of the riot shield sold out to a union deal. This one's dedicated to Arthur Scargill. The 9th of May 1997. No one could predict back then that we'd have the 9/11, but the outspoken were silenced by draconian law, and many met with violence trying to stop an unjust war. But the working folk of England continued to sweat and toil. Working folk of Iraq were slain for the price of oil. New Labour become old habits and a system that didn't care. This one's dedicated to Tony Blair. So 2011, not a single thing has changed. Wealthy live by different rules, economies rearranged, because of our hard-earned money that the wealthy need to thank. Could have our collective ignorance, we bail out Barclays Bank. But 2011 could become the memorable year when the working folk of England overcome the fear, the beat of the teller machines, crash into the floor. This one's dedicated to the working poor.